I wanted to expand on a thought I had in a previous video about why Resident Evil 4 worked, yet Resident Evil 5 and specifically Resident Evil 6 didn't. So 4 was pretty self-aware. This is one thing that everyone praises Resident Evil 4 for. It knows it's a cheesy, goofy, schlocky horror game. Some people don't even think Resident Evil 4 is a horror game. I say it's more of like a third-person shooter with horror elements. It's a horror shooter, whatever, who cares? Resident Evil 4 still had some scary moments. And by the way, when I say Resident Evil 4, I'm talking about the OG. But the remake was still great. But Resident Evil 4 knew what it was, and it made kind of light of that. Whereas 5, while it had very similar gameplay, and it was fun to play with co-op like friends, it took itself so seriously. And yes, there were some cheesy parts, like with Wesker. But I don't know. I feel like Wesker is like an outlier in that game because everyone is taking things so seriously. Now, yeah, there are some jokes here and there, and there are some characters that aren't like, what's his name? The Irving, the weird dude with the big forehead. Wesker's chewing the scenery. Irving isn't taking stuff too seriously. But I feel like overall, Resident Evil 5 plays the story pretty straight, whereas Leon's going through the main game in 4, and he's just not even giving a damn. He's like, oh, whatever. I mean, monsters, at least now there's only one less left of them. Like, stuff like that really is what separates Resident Evil 4 from the rest of the series. In the sense that it just didn't really matter. And yes, you can argue if every game was like that, it would be like lampshading everything. It would pretty much be like a parody of itself. But Resident Evil 4 is like one of the most popular video games ever, so who knows?